That's me. Or at least that used to be me. I looked up to the police, trusted and respected them. Now I see them in a different light. A much darker light. It all began when my boyfriend was stop and search at a train station, and I decided to film it on my phone. First it was 1, then 3, then 5 officers all pulling at me, grabbing at me, trying to get to my phone. I was handcuffed, threatened with arrest, even though they were already restraining me and holding me against my will. I tried reasoning with them, but they weren't interested. So why did this happen? Because of 9/11 in New York and the terrorist attacks in London, Parliament had been given the police more and more new powers to fight terrorism. In 2009, a section was added saying, "It was an offence to photograph or film a police officer." But only if the footage was likely to be useful to a terrorist. Well, I wasn't a terrorist. And I wasn't going to let anyone treat me like that.
A woman who claims she was handcuffed, detained and threatened with arrest for filming officers on her mobile phone is taking the Met to the High Court. Gemma Atkinson was questioned.
My lawyer agreed the police had abused their new powers. But rather than sue the individual officers, he said I should first fight for something much more substantial. You see, what happened to me was far from unique. All over England, all kinds of people had been attacked, arrested, even imprisoned just for filming or photographing the police. And none of them, not one of them, was a terrorist. If we fought for a judicial review, a process where a judge checks the way the police interpret the law, we'd make sure nobody could ever be treated like that again. But to avoid a judicial review, the police decided to reword their guidelines on the Terrorism Act. That the public could photograph officers during normal police activities, even protests. We hadn't got rid of the stupid law, but the police would have to implement it properly now. Now I could tackle the other part of my case, bringing the police officers who'd hurt me to justice. If you have an issue with a police officer, you have to go through the Independent Police Complaints Commission. I thought the commission would read our statements, see how the officers had abused the law and mistreated me, and then discipline them. But one statement didn't match the others. On all the important points, the most senior officer present contradicted not just me, not just my phone footage, but both his colleagues. And what did the IPCC do? Bugger all. They ignored the discrepancies, agreed the officers had wrongly implemented the law, but said they couldn't be accused of misconduct because they didn't know they had wrongly implemented the law.
The Cyclone West, God bless Ostek, La Pure, Viray, Bon Hemi. They're folding them the last way well as just a friend. The Cyclone West, God bless Bon Hemi. Nice like Cyclone West there, but where, Bohem?
But after a lot of excuses, attempts to pass the blame onto me, after 19 months of legal costs and stress, they offered me an out-of-court settlement. Still, at least I got those guidelines cleared up, eh? Or at least that's what I thought. Until one night walking home, I knew it was my right to film, but fear just took over. I stopped. All that work, all that struggle, yet nothing changed. We obviously can't rely on the police to learn the laws they enforce, or the IPCC to punish them for not bothering. People are campaigning to get rid of this horrible law once and for all. But right now, it's up to all of us to know the law, understand the law, and be able to stand up for ourselves when the police get it wrong. So next time the police try to stop you photographing or filming them, tell them you're allowed.
We are allowed to film you!
If they ask for your name, your personal details, or your possessions, tell them no.
No!
And no matter how much they threaten you, tell them that according to Section 58A of the Terrorism Act, police can only stop you filming them if they have reasonable suspicion that you are a terrorist.
You can only stop me filming you if you have reasonable suspicion that I am a terrorist.
Fantastic!